Oh my God!
Hello, hello. All right. Let's get this over with. Come on, music. All right. Hello, everyone. Hello. Today is, what is it? Tuesday, July 21 or 21st, 2026. And I'm so glad to see everyone. Apologize for the slight tardiness. I'm trying to get so many files up you wouldn't imagine, but Good thing to see. Good thing to see. We got everything going, and we have some things to look at and some breaking news. And that's why I'm jumping on kind of unexpected. I plan to do a show tomorrow, but figured I'd jump on and do this now. So I'm glad to see everyone, and just throwing some of these chats up here to say hi to everyone. Consider this my way of saying hi. I see you guys. And yeah, everyone, please hit the like as you come in. That would really help out. I'd love to see everyone hit that like and also enjoy the show. We're going to be getting started now. So special announcement. We have a special guest tonight. Okay, we have a special guest in a little bit. We're going to be bringing our special guest on. But first, I'm going to get into the breaking news because that's the reason for the show tonight. But I'm glad to see everyone in here, and hello to all of you. Okay, so glad to see you all. Who we got here? There you go. Boom. Arthur Claremont, Four Pitts, Nancy Drew, Deb, Critter Mama, Mustang, Fur Baby Daddy. We got Deb, our main mob. Please respect her authority in here. We got Monday, dropping some facts. Four Pitts, like I said, Rebecca Ann, Dennis McKean. Hey, what up, Mark Ellis? Mark Ellis paying us a visit. We got Ninja Warrior Assassin. Okay, Silenced Woman, Maria Alma, Brittany Renee. Who knows who I'm missing? I see Tammy's in here. Shout out to everybody. Okay, if I missed you, say hello again so I can say your name before we get rolling. But good to see everyone. And I know there's some people lurking. They let me know. So some people are working and they can't really join the chat tonight. But hello to my buddies who are lurking. What's up, Victims News on Air? Erica. What's up, Erica? And what's up, Goddess? And thank you to Erica for the heads up on this. Okay, so Erica sent me a heads up on this earlier today or this morning, and immediately I was like, oh damn. So the breaking news here is that a man sentenced for nearly 4 years, okay, for possession of child pornography, aka child sexual abuse material. Let's call it what it is. And shout out to American Night Mom for constantly reminding us of that. And say it again, American Night Mom. Okay. So it says here, okay, July 21st. That's 5:14 p.m. Eastern. Okay, that was earlier today at the end of the business day. What it says here is that a 38-year-old Peru, Indiana man was sentenced. Okay, not arrested. Now, let me ask you a question real quick. Did any of you guys know about this? Because why was this swept under the rug? I'm going to show you momentarily. This is still being swept under the rug as we speak. But pay attention. A 38-year-old Peru, Indiana man, i.e. Dropbox Connections, was sentenced after pleading guilty to possession of child sexual abuse material. Okay, on July 8th, according to the United States Attorney's Office, Northern District of Indiana. So also pay attention. This is not a local bust. This is a federal bust. Okay, federal bust. This is the feds. Okay, and you're going to see that momentarily. And it continues. It says Dex Dillon Willard Jr. was sentenced to 3 years and 10 months in prison, followed by 5 years of supervised release. The attorney's office noted restitution has been deferred until that hearing on September 29, which, hello, this is July 21st. This is still ongoing. In other words, still ongoing, okay? Another eye-opener here. This was investigated by Homeland Security, not Miami County, okay? Homeland Security with assistance from the Indiana State Police. As I mentioned, this is still ongoing and this is multifaceted, and there is an absolute blackout of information on this. I challenge you to go find more than you're going to see tonight. And this was a group effort to retrieve the little information we do have. Okay. So the deal on this one, okay, the deal on this one right here, again, Peru, Indiana. Okay, Peru, Indiana is home of the Dropbox the Dropbox Central of the Delphi murders investigation. Okay, now we're going to continue and we're going to show you a couple things if I can manage to. Rutro, did I not pull those up yet? Okay, let me see something here. Perhaps I neglected. Well, I was sure I saved that. Did it not save? Okay, just a minute. I'm trying to pull something up to show you what's going on here. So let me do a do-over and get it back on the screen. Again, apologize for the absolute hectic nature of this. This is breaking news. Okay, let's see. We're gonna go to this particular document, and we're gonna grab this particular document, and we're gonna take this, and we're gonna say boom. Okay, and now let's go and bring it onto the screen. So we're gonna go this way, and then we're gonna say, yay. Okay, let's see. Still giving me problems. I knew I had done this. Okay, we're gonna say, There we go. Now let's get it up here for you guys, and I do apologize for being last minute here. This has been quite a challenge to grab all this stuff. Let's make sure we can grab this. I want to show you this because it's important. Let's see. Wow. Still not cooperating. It doesn't want to produce. There we go. It looked like it came through this time. So let's get this up here. Did they do something funny so that this is not able to be shared? Total failure right now. Come on. I am certain that we just downloaded this. I saw it pop into the downloads. Okay, well, I'll forego it. I will forego it, but I'll read it to you. Okay? They seem to have this format in some way where it's not going to render. But this says, okay, USA versus Dex Dillon Willard Jr. It says date of filing, February 10th, 2026. Okay. Arrest, February 10th, 2026. Sealed probable cause affidavit and complaint. And so everything transpired here on February 10th, February 11th, February 17th, okay, regarding this case. And I'm going to show it to the camera because these sons of bitches will not allow me to show it on the screen. This is odd. But check this out. Let's see. I'm going to show it on the screen here. How bizarre this is. I've never seen this computer do this. Just does not want you guys to see it. Unbelievable. Even now, it's still not wanting to show me, but I'll show you. Okay, let me see if you can see this. It's not working. Okay, it's not working. Let me try one more time. Oh, there we go. Okay, I forced it. There you go. There's your timeline here. Okay, this is for all of you to look up. This is your timeline. I tell you, that was difficult to accomplish, but there you go. So you see what's happening here. This is your history, okay? And as you can see, check this out. Absolutely sealed to the extreme, okay? Absolutely sealed to the extreme. Remember, this is Peru, Indiana, February of this year, which means this investigation obviously is going to go back before February, up to a year, okay? Up to a year. So all we know is that February 10th, the complaint was filed, the probable cause was filed, the arrest was made, and then, like I said, February 11th, again, let's go to this timeline here. February 11th, February 17th, we had motion, okay? And then as this article stated, back to this article here, it says, on July 8th, he pled guilty and was sentenced, okay? And it says, on September 29, there's a hearing regarding restitution. So it leads me to believe there's more going on in this case. And let's see what I want to show you next. Let's see. I'm going to get this next one up. We got a few more, a couple more at least. Okay, first we're going to go with this one. Okay, as you see, we'll read through this, okay? This reads as follows. As you can see, it's United States of America, U.S. versus Dex Dylan Willard Jr. Okay, now pay attention to this. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, back to this. Look at the case number. Okay, now check this out. This is going to blow the minds right on off you guys. Right on off you guys, okay? Check this out. Different case number, different case. Got it? This one is also U.S. versus Dex Dylan Willard Jr. Different case number. Check it out. Different filing date. Okay, different filing date. What this says is the United States Attorney charges that between on or about July 1st, 2025 and July 7th, 2025 in the Northern District of Indiana, defendant Dex Dylan Willard Jr., defendant herein knowingly possessed material that contained an image of child pornography as defined in Title 18 U.S. Code Section 2256A involving a prepubescent minor and a minor who had not attained 12 years of age. Do you guys hear that? This involved a prepubescent minor and a minor who had not attained 12 years of age that has been transported using any means and facility of interstate and foreign commerce and in and affecting interstate and foreign commerce by any means, including by computer. all in violation of Title 18 U.S. Code Section 2252A, A5B, and B2. Forfeiture allegations. The allegations contained in the information are hereby realleged, and by this reference fully incorporated herein for the purpose of alleging forfeiture to the United States of America pursuant to Title 18 U.S. Code Section 2253. Upon conviction of an offense in violation of Title 18 U.S. Code Section 2252A, as alleged in the indictment, which is sealed, the defendant Dex Dillon Willard Jr. shall forfeit to the United States of America any property, real or personal, constituting or traceable to gross profits or other proceeds obtained from the offense, and any property, real or personal, used or intended to be used to commit or promote the commission of the offense. The property to be forfeited includes, but is not limited to, all electronic devices and online accounts used or intended to be used to commit the offenses charged in all counts, including iPhone 14. If any property described above as a result of any act or omission of the defendant cannot be located upon the exercise of due diligence, has been transferred or sold or deposited with a third party, or has been placed beyond the jurisdiction of the court, has been substantially diminished in value, or has been commingled with other property which cannot be divided without difficulty, the United States of America shall be entitled to forfeiture of substitute property pursuant to Title 21 U.S. Code Section 853P, as incorporated by Title 18 U.S. Code Sections 982B, 1030I, and 2253B, and by Title 28 U.S. Code Section 2461C, dated March 9th, 2026. Now it continues. Here we go. On March 9th, 2026, petition to enter a guilty plea pursuant to Rule 2 of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure. Come now, the United States of America by its counsel, Adam L. Mildred. That name should sound familiar to you guys. United States Attorney for the Northern District of Indiana through Hannah T. Jones, Assistant U.S. Attorney, and the defendant, Dex Dillon Willard Jr., and Charles Hayes, an attorney for the defendant, and showed the court they have entered into a plea agreement. They always take the plea agreement. Haven't I said that a million fucking times over here? They always take the deal.
Oh my God.
Bruh. Okay, plea deal. My true name is Dex Dillon Willard Jr., and I request that all proceedings against me be had in the name in which I here declare to be my true name. I was born in the U.S. of America and have attended school and have the ability to read, write, and speak the English language. I am represented by counsel. My lawyer's name is Charlie Hayes. I have received a copy of the information in this case, and I have read and discussed it with my lawyer, and I believe and feel that I understand every accusation made against me in this case. I have told my lawyer the facts and surrounding circumstances as known to me concerning the matters mentioned in the information. And I believe and feel that my lawyer is fully informed as to all such matters. My lawyer has since informed me and has counseled and advised me as to the nature and cause of every accusation against me and as to any possible defenses I might have in this case. I understand that I am entitled to have all of my rights which may be involved in this matter explained to me, and that I have the right to have any questions I may have answered for me. I understand that I have the right to plead not guilty to any offense charged against me, and that under a plea of not guilty, the Constitution guarantees me the right to a speedy and public trial. By a 12-person jury of my peers, selected according to the law in the Northern District of Indiana, which must return a unanimous verdict of guilty before I can be convicted. The right to be released on reasonable bail until my trial occurs. The right to see, hear, and cross-examine all witnesses against me at trial. The right to use the power and process of the court to compel the production of any evidence, including the attendance of any witnesses, in my favor at trial. The right to the assistance of counsel at every stage of the proceedings, including upon an appeal if need be. The right not to testify without prejudice, and that in the event I should be found guilty of the charge against me, the right to appeal my conviction and such charge to a higher court. I understand also that if I plead guilty, I waive the right to trial by jury in all proceedings in this case and all of the other rights mentioned above. I further understand if I plead guilty, I waive the right to be charged by way of indictment. Notwithstanding the above, I have, with the assistance of counsel, entered into agreement with the U.S. Attorney's Office, the feds, for the Northern District of Indiana as follows. I agree to plead guilty to the information which charges me with possession of CSAM in violation of Title 18 U.S. Code, Section 2252A, A5B, because I am in fact guilty of the offense charged. I understand that in order for the court to accept my guilty plea, the court must receive what is called a factual basis. In connection with my guilty plea, I acknowledge the following facts are true and that they shall form the factual basis for my guilty plea. Between, on, or about July 1st, 2025 and July 7th, 2025, in the Northern District of Indiana, I knowingly possessed visual depictions that contained child pornography, child sexual abuse material. I knowingly possessed a video on my cell phone that depicted minors, that's two, engaged in sexually explicit conduct, including a video of prepubescent minors or minors who had not yet attained the 12 years of age. I knew both that the video depicted one or more minors and that the minors were engaged in sexually explicit conduct. I admit and agree that I possessed the video on my cell phone and distributed the video to another individual over the internet.
Oh my God!
Well, guys, apparently I got kicked out of StreamYard. The moment I read that, the StreamYard crashed. What are the odds here? StreamYard crashed. I apologize for that, and we are back though. And unfortunately, because StreamYard crashed, I just lost all 14 of my uploads, which means this is going to go entirely different. It's going to be slow go from here. Let's get back to that. Okay, as you can see here, what I was reading was very important, so we'll continue. God damn it. It says, geez, that hurts my feelings. I had this all set up. It was so perfect. I had my 14 slides. I had my 3 or 4 videos, and now I'm totally, absolutely screwed. But let's read where I was, because this was an important section. Okay, this was important. He says, I admit and agree, okay, that I possessed the video on my cell phone and distributed the video to another individual over the internet. And therefore, the video was shipped or transported in or affecting interstate or foreign commerce by any means, including by computer. I understand that the maximum possible penalty that may be imposed for a conviction of the offense of possession of child pornography in violation of Title 18 U.S. Code Section 2252A5B, as charged in this information, is a term of imprisonment not to exceed 20 years, a fine not to exceed $250,000, or a combination of both imprisonment and a fine, to which may be added a term of supervised release of at least 5 years up to life, plus a special assessment of $100 in addition to any other penalty imposed, as well as $5,000 discretionary assessment under the Justices for Victims of Trafficking Act, up to $17,000 assessment under the Amy, Vicky, Andy Act of 2018, registration as a sex offender, and restitution of a maximum of $3,000 to identified victims of the offense who seek restitution to be determined by the sentencing court. I understand that under these or the U.S. sentencing guidelines, the court, in light of an investigation by the U.S. Probation Office, will determine the applicable sentencing guidelines range, and that the court will determine all matters, whether factual or legal, relevant to the application of the sentencing guidelines, including but not limited to the adjusted offense level, the relevant circumstances in the case, the criminal history points and category, relevant conduct, the grouping of offenses, victim-related adjustments, role in the offense adjustments, career offender status, criminal livelihood, and acceptance of responsibility, as well as possible departures from the application of U.S. sentencing guideline. I understand that the U.S. sentencing guidelines are advisory only, and that the specific sentence to be imposed upon me will be determined by the judge after consideration of a pre-sentence investigation report, input from counsel, for myself, from the government, from me, and federal sentencing statutes and the U.S. sentencing guidelines. I understand that by pleading guilty, I would be required to register as a sex offender upon my release from prison as a condition of supervised release pursuant to 18 U.S. Code 3583D, and I also understand that independent of supervised release, I will be subject to federal and state sex offender registration requirements, and that those requirements may apply throughout my life. I understand that I will keep my registration current, shall notify the state sex offender registration agency or agency of any changes to my name, place of residence, employment, or student status, or other relevant information. I will comply with the requirements to periodically verify in person my sex offender registration indictment. I understand that I will be subject to possible federal and state penalties for failure to comply with any such sex offender registration requirements. If I reside in Indiana following release from prison, I will be subject to the registration requirements of IC Section 11887. I further understand that under 18 U.S. Code Section 4042C, notice will be provided to certain law enforcement agencies upon my release from confinement following conviction. I understand that the law gives a convicted person the right to appeal the conviction and the sentence imposed. I also understand that no one can predict the prison sentence or precise sentence that will be imposed, and that the court has jurisdiction and authority to impose any sentence within the statutory maximum set for my offense as set forth in this plea agreement. With this understanding, and in consideration of the government's entry into this plea agreement, I expressly waive my right to appeal or to contest my conviction and all components of my sentencing, or the manner in which my conviction or my sentence was determined or imposed, to any court on any ground other than a claim of ineffective assistance of counsel, including any appeal under Title 18 U.S. Code Section 3742, or any post-conviction proceeding, including but not limited to a proceeding under Title 28 U.S. Code Section 2255. I also agree to waive all rights, whether asserted directly or through a representative, to, after sentencing, request or receive from the U.S. any further records, reports, or documents pertaining to the investigation or prosecution of this matter. This waiver includes, but is not limited to, rights conferred by the Freedom of Information Act and Privacy Act of 1974. Further, I acknowledge that I have received all discovery required by law prior to the entry of this plea, and that I have reviewed the same with my lawyer. As part of this agreement, I agree to make restitution to the victims of my offense and to those whose images I possessed. In an amount to be determined by the sentencing court, I acknowledge restitution shall be due immediately and paid pursuant to a schedule to be set by the court at sentencing. I understand that a payment schedule imposed by the court establishes only a minimum obligation and does not preclude the United States Attorney's Office from pursuing any other means to collect the restitution judgment pursuant to federal and state law. I expressly authorize the U.S. Attorney's Office to obtain a credit report in order to evaluate my ability to satisfy any financial obligation imposed by the court. I agree upon request by the U.S. Attorney's Office to submit within 30 days of this request a completed financial statement to the U.S. Attorney's Office in a form it provides as it directs. I promise that the financial statement and disclosures will be complete, accurate, and truthful. And I understand that any willful falsehood on any financial statement will be a separate crime and may be punishable under Title 18 U.S. Code, Section 1001, by an additional 5 years incarceration and fine. If deemed necessary by the U.S. Attorney's Office, I agree to submit prior to sentencing to any examination under oath of any issue of my ability to pay restitution. I agree to the forfeiture of the iPhone 14. I acknowledge that the property was used to commit the offense to which I am pleading guilty. I further consent to the entry of orders of forfeiture pursuant to the Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure. That's what we just read. In further consideration for my plea of guilty to the information, the government, pursuant to the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure, agrees to make the following non-binding recommendation. Any agreements which follow in these subparagraphs are submitted to the court pursuant to Rule 11C1B of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure and are not binding upon the court. I understand this means if the court refuses to follow a recommendation set forth in the subparagraphs, I will not be allowed to withdraw my guilty plea. The government and I agree that in recognition of my acceptance of responsibility for my offensive conduct, I am entitled to a 2-level reduction in offense level. The government and I further agree that I have assisted authorities in the investigation or prosecution of my own misconduct by timely notifying the U.S. Attorney's Office of my intention to plead guilty, thereby permitting the government to avoid preparing for trial and permitting the government and court to allocate their resources efficiently. And we agree that if my offense level is 16 or greater, the government will move at sentencing for me to receive an additional 1-level reduction in the offense level. However, the government's obligation to recommend acceptance of responsibility under this plea agreement is contingent upon my continuing manifestation of acceptance of responsibility. Should I deny my involvement, give conflicting statements of my involvement, or engage in additional criminal conduct, including any personal use of controlled substances, the government shall not be bound to recommend any reduction in offense level for acceptance of responsibility. At the time of sentencing, the government shall recommend that I receive a term of imprisonment at the low end of the applicable guideline range, and the guideline range to be determined by the court. I further understand that the court is not bound by these recommendations, that the court may make the final decision regarding any receipt and reduction of offense level for acceptance of my responsibility, and that I am not entitled to withdraw this guilty plea if the court decides not to accept these recommendations. I understand that the government has reserved the right to tell the court the good things about me and the bad things about me, and fully inform the court of the nature and extent of my offenses, as well as the full extent of my criminal history. I understand that other than what is contained in this plea agreement, no predictions, promises, or representations have been made to me as to the specific sentence that will be imposed or any other matter. I am prepared to state to the court my reasons based upon the facts of this matter that cause me to believe that I am guilty as charged. I believe and feel that my lawyer has done all that anyone could do to counsel me and assist me, and I now understand the proceedings in this case against me. I declare that I offer my plea of guilty freely and voluntarily and of my own accord, and that no promises have been made to me other than those contained in this petition, and that I have not been threatened in any way by anyone to cause me to plead guilty in accordance with this petition. I understand and acknowledge that this petition, once filed with the court, is a public document and available for public viewing, which is why we're reading it. This is Dex Dylan Willard Jr., defendant. Approved by Adam Mildred, U.S. attorneys. And again, this is on March 9th of this year. We're just hearing about it, okay? So let me do something. Let's see. What the hell? Okay, sorry about that. Forgot to turn my ringer off. Okay, guys, as I mentioned, my whole thing crashed, so I'm kind of stuck, little slowed now. But let's look at this again. Okay, so the guilty plea here again. Let's read it again. That between on or about July 1st, 2025 and July 7th, 2025, I knowingly possessed visual depictions that contained child sexual abuse material. I knowingly possessed a video on my cell phone that depicted minors engaged in sexually explicit conduct, including a video of prepubescent minors who had not yet attained the age of 12 years old. I both knew that the video depicted one or more minors and that the minors were engaged in sexually explicit conduct. I admit and agree that I possessed the video on my cell phone and distributed the video to another individual on the internet.
Oh my God!
All right. And so now we're going to look at this, okay, which is your judgment. It says a defendant pled guilty to count one of the information on March 31st, 2026. Accordingly, the court has adjudicated that the defendant is guilty. Okay? The defendant is sentenced as provided in pages 2 through 7 of this judgment. Now, this is July 8th, 2026. Okay, July 8th, 2026, not too long ago. The defendant is hereby committed to the custody of the U.S. Bureau of Prisons to be in prison for a term of 46 months. The court recommends that the Bureau of Prisons designate as the place of the defendant's confinement a facility consistent with the defendant's security classification as determined by the Bureau of Prisons for placement at FCI Elkton, where he can participate in CDL programming and mental health and sexual offender management programs. The defendant is remanded to the custody of the United States Marshals. Okay, supervised release. Again, so he's been sentenced now to 46 months. After the 46 months, he shall be on supervised release for a term of 5 years. The terms of supervision: you must not commit another federal, state, or local crime, period. You must not unlawfully possess a controlled substance, period. You must not unlawfully use any controlled substance, including marijuana, and must submit to 1 drug test within 15 days of the beginning of supervision and 2 periodic tests after that for use of a controlled substance. You must cooperate with the probation officer with respect to the collection of DNA. You must be lawfully employed full-time at least 30 hours per week. If you are not employed full-time, you must try to find full-time employment under the supervision of the probation officer. If you become unemployed or change your employer, position, or location of employment, you must tell the probation officer within 72 hours of the change. If after 90 days you do not find employment, you must complete at least 10 hours of community service per week until employed, or participate in a job skills training program under approved and directed by your probation officer. Any required community service under this condition must not exceed 400 hours. You must report in person to the probation office in the district in which you are released within 72 hours of release from the custody of the Bureau of Prisons. You must report to the probation officer in the manner and as frequently as the court or probation officer directs. And you must notify the probation officer within 48 hours of any change in residence and 72 hours of being arrested or questioned by a police officer. You must not travel outside of the federal judicial district without permission of the court. Alternatively, the probation officer will grant such permission when doing so will reasonably assure the probation officer's knowledge of your whereabouts and that travel will not hinder your rehabilitation or present a public safety risk. You must truthfully answer any inquiry by the probation officer and must follow the instruction of the probation officer pertaining to your supervision and conditions of supervision. This condition does not prevent you from invoking the Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. You must permit a probation officer to meet at your home or any other reasonable location, and you must permit confiscation of any contraband the probation officer observes in plain view. The probation officer will not conduct such a visit between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. without specific reason to believe a visit during those hours would reveal information or contraband that wouldn't be revealed during the visit during regular hours. You must not meet, communicate, or otherwise interact with persons whom you know to be engaged in or planning to be engaged in criminal activity. You must not possess a firearm, ammunition, destructive device, or any other dangerous weapon, meaning an instrument designed to be used as a weapon capable of causing death or serious bodily harm. You must not enter into any agreement to act as an informant or special agent of law enforcement without the court's permission. Unless an assessment at the time of release from imprisonment or commencement of probation indicates the court participation is unnecessary, you must participate in substance abuse and mental health treatment program or aftercare program. Okay. Now it goes on and on. Okay. But it's basically, it's saying you abide by all program requirements. Okay. And treatment. You must not consume any alcoholic beverages. You must pay for all part of the cost for participation. You must register with local law enforcement agencies and the state attorney general as identified the probation officer. Defendant's offense is a conviction is a child sex offense, and the defendant is required to register pursuant to the Sex Offender Registration Notification Act. You must participate in sex offender testing and evaluations to include psychological, behavioral assessments, and or polygraph exams. You must enter and attend sex offender specific group and individual counseling at an approved outpatient treatment program. If warranted from testing, evaluation, assessments, you must abide by all program requirements and restrictions. You must pay all or part of the cost for the participation in the program. You may not have access to any personal devices capable of connecting to the internet. Woo! You may not have access to any personal devices capable of connecting to the internet unless registered in advance and monitored by the probation officer. The probation officer will have access to all of your electronic devices with internet access at any time, with or without notice, to enable verification of compliance with this condition. You must allow the probation officer to install computer monitoring software on any computer and cell phone that you use. The probation department may monitor all aspects of your computer or cell phone activity except for the geolocation data. Moreover, cell phone voice conversation monitoring is limited to data collection as opposed to listening in or recording voice conversations. Before installation, you may be subjected to a search of your computers and cell phones to identify the existence of illegal data. To ensure compliance with the monitoring condition, you must allow the probation officers to conduct periodic, unannounced monitoring of any computers and cell phones subject to this condition. Such monitoring will be conducted to determine whether the computers and cell phones contain any prohibited data, whether the monitoring software is functioning effectively, whether there have been attempts to circumvent the software, and to ensure compliance with supervision conditions, and to ensure compliance with any sex offender treatment conditions or rules. You must warn others who use your computers and cell phones subject to this condition that these devices are monitored. You must pay all costs. You must not contact any victim or any member of a victim's family by any means, either directly or indirectly through others. You must not provide any information about any victim or victim's family member, including his or her name, address, telephone number, any other contact information to others. Okay. Restitution. Restitution hearing, September 29th, 2026, 10 a.m. Okay. So there you have it. There you have it. Now listen, let me make sure that we're cleared here. Let me pull a Kathy Shank. Make sure that we're cleared for all of this. Was that? That was that. That was that. Okay. All right, guys. So again, that covers your recent bust here. And let me see if I can. I just really hate that I lost everything, but that's how it happens. That's how it happens. And again, to kind of put a bookend on this, man sentenced 4 years in prison for possession of child sexual abuse material. Okay. That's what we're looking at. This here, Peru, Indiana, ladies and gentlemen, another Peru, Indiana Chomo. Okay. This is the Keegan Klein connection. This is a Dropbox connection, right? This is the Peru Chomo connection. Again, for those who are just coming in, a 38-year-old Peru, Indiana man was sentenced after pleading guilty to possession of child sexual abuse material on July 8th. That's just a little bit ago, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Dex Dylan Willard Jr., sentenced to 3 years and 10 months, followed by 5 years of supervised release. Okay. Again, his restitution hearings deferred until September 29th. And again, this is Homeland Security investigations reaching on back to 2025. As we know, we have 2 parallel cases on this guy. This is your 38-year-old Chomo from Peru, Indiana, that's just been sentenced after his plea of guilty, which means this. What would you think? He's working with them, right? Do you think he's given up some of the others? Remember, part of his guilty plea here, and let's go back to it, is the distribution of this video of a prepubescent minor and a minor under 12 years old engaged in sexual activity. So this Chomo from Peru, Indiana, is distributing this sexual video of a prepubescent minor and a minor under 12 engaged in sexual activity. He's distributing it over the internet to other Chomos. So don't you think that he had probably had to give that up and cooperate? You know, they're going to get his phone. They've already got his devices. They probably got his IP address and all the other stuff. My opinion, this is a thread they can pull on that's as recent as 2025. That's going to be a thread that leads back to other Chomos connected to Peru, Indiana. So that's your breaking news on another CSAM bust in Peru, Indiana. And I hope that all of you gained a little something from that. And I do sincerely apologize for the crash there. I couldn't really help that or do anything about it. Now, turning the page, we're going to move into part two, okay? Because I have demonstrated, and I'm going to have to pull this up piecemeal once again. But if you have been paying attention to my community page, you will see that there's some things that I revealed recently, okay? And I'm going to take these in somewhat of a backwards order. So we have been discussing lately Adam Bridge, okay? Adam Bridge. This is Libby's uncle, okay? This is Libby's uncle. This is Carrie's brother. Now, I posted this on my community page, and I was extremely disturbed by this. And for those of you who haven't seen my community page, go and check out my community page. I think this is extremely interesting here. This is from the 2020 Keegan Kline interview at Grissom, right? And the transcript got leaked. As you all remember, this transcript got leaked. From the unredacted transcript here, we have a quotation. And if we start outside of the red box at the top of the page, you would notice that they are asking him about Emily Ann 45. So Keegan Kline is being asked about Emily Ann 45. And what he says is, that has to be Dirk. I'm telling you right now, that has to be Dirk. 1,000%. Okay? Well, as you know, he's blamed a lot of stuff on Dirk in the course of this interview and to others afterwards. Keep in mind that this is not the Anthony Shots account. So whenever they say that the two people using the Anthony Shots account were using it from within the Kline household, remember, they didn't say that the person using the Emily Ann account was using it from inside of his home. So let's look at this. This says the officer here is reading from the transcript the words of Emily Ann. Emily Ann says, "Hey, it's Adam. You're so cute, princess." There's an account named Eleanor18 who appears to be a 13-year-old little girl. Oddly enough, same age as Abigail Williams, 13 years old. So this 13-year-old girl says, "Thanks." And Emily Ann 45 says, "Were you naked in that?" And this 13-year-old girl says, "Yep." And Emily Ann 45, Adam, says, "Show more." And the 13-year-old girl sends another photo. Adam says, "I love your redacted," with the smiley winky face. "You're 12, right?" And the little girl says, 13. And Adam, quote unquote, says, "So hot," with another winky face. Then later down in the chat, Adam says, "Can I see your redacted?" The 13, and then says, "Is it bad I would have redacted you so long ago," with another winky face. Adam then says, "Would you have sucked a 37-year-old redacted when you were 10? And the 13-year-old girl says, "Of course." And Adam says, "Would you let a grown man redacted you at 8? Winky face. The 13-year-old says, "Sure." And Adam, quote unquote, says, "How young would you go?" And the 13-year-old girl says, "I don't know." Adam says, "Tell me." And the 13-year-old girl says, 7. And Adam says, "So hot, winky face." So my question there, is this our Adam? Is this our Adam? Now, for those of you who are not too familiar with Adam Bridge, I want to read something for you. Again, I said I had to pull all this back up, so please, I do apologize for the difficulty here. Let me get this up. Okay, this is Adam Bridges' my case here. Okay, and Adam Bridge is looking at 78 counts. Okay, now I need you all to remember this: 78 counts. Question for those in the chat: how many did Kegan Kline initially get charged with? Okay, how many was Kegan Kline charged with? For those in the back. How many counts of CSAM was Kegan Kline initially charged with? And then second follow-up, how many did he plead guilty to? What was his deal? Okay, I'm trying to make a comparison here. Anyway, while you guys answer that, I'm going to read this. This is Adam Bridge here. Okay. It says, Florida man Adam Bridge jailed on 78 counts. 78 counts in my case. Okay. This Florida man was arrested earlier on, and see, this is April 18th, on 78 felony counts, 78 counts alleging child exploitation and possession of child sexual abuse material spanning multiple years, meaning going back before the arrest of Richard Allen. Adam Bridge, 40 years old, of Florida, is being held in the Carroll County Jail on a $50,000 cash-only bond. Well, hello, for those in the back, that was reduced to $5,000 by Nicholas McClellan, Shane Evans, Stacy Diener, and who's the judge? I mean, who's his lawyer? That $50,000 was reduced to $5,000, which he paid. Oh my God! Okay, so he's now walking the streets. But he's charged with 53 counts of a level 5 felony of child exploitation, alleging he managed, produced, and otherwise created visual depictions involving minors between December 8th, 2019. Hello? 2019. 2019. Oh my God. December 8th, 2019 and May 11th, 2025, 78 counts of child sexual abuse material. He's also charged with 25 counts of level 5 felony possession of child sexual abuse material, which the alleged offense dates of July 16th, 2025. According to court records, the bond must be paid in full, and he does not allow the 10% option. Well, oddly enough, this is PR, because you know what they did? They reduced the shit anyway and let him walk. And he's currently walking the streets. That's right. Okay? So back to Kegan Kline, because I brought up Kegan Kline. 45 or so counts. Okay? 45 compared to 78. Okay? Now, I ask you this. If this guy, if there was probable cause for 78 felony counts of possession of child sexual abuse material, doesn't that make him a bigger pedophile than Kegan Kline? Doesn't make him Kegan Kline on steroids? This guy is almost twice what Kegan Kline was. Don't you agree? I mean, 45 is damn near half of 80. So let me ask you this. Why was he bonded out? Why was he bond reduced? Why is no media in the world covering Adam Bridge right now? Why is Google lying about who Adam Bridge is? Oh, yeah, I said it. I said it. You want to know why I say that? Because let me explain something to you guys. You're familiar with Gemini, right? With the Google AI assistant. So I went into Google and I asked it, is Adam Bridge related to Libby German of the Delphi murders? Google said, no. I corrected Google. I said, that's not true. He's directly related to Libby German and Delphi murders. You know what Google came back and told me? No, there's another Adam Bridge, goes by the same name in Flora. I corrected Google. I said, no, there's not. Adam Bridge is the Adam Bridge related to the Bridges, or Christine Bridge, and the mother of Liberty German. You know what Google told me? No, that's not correct. You're misidentifying another Adam Bridge from the same area. And because there's another Adam Bridge in the same area, you've misidentified who that Adam Bridge is, who is being charged with 78 counts of possession of CSAM. I battled with the Google AI assistant for 20 minutes on this issue, and it never gave it up. And it kept going back and citing the Carroll County comment as the authority over and over and over. And it pointed out to me how it was coming to its conclusion, that the reason that it was coming to its conclusion was because there's no reporting out there that states that Adam Bridge is the Adam Bridge who is related to the victim in the Delphi murders. That all reporting separates them. Therefore, they are led to believe that it is a different Adam Bridge who is the Adam Bridge who is alleged to have been in possession of 78 counts of child sexual abuse material. So I said, wow, damn. So then I went to Grok. You know what Grok did? Grok immediately spit out the truth. Yes, it's the same Adam Bridge who's related to Libby German. Then I went to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT said, yes, it's the same Adam Bridge. So why is Google literally lying? And even when corrected multiple times with receipts and links, why is Google lying about Adam Bridge? Very interesting, isn't it? Now, I want to read to you the probable cause affidavit for Adam Bridge before we bring in our special guest. I want you to understand when I say this guy is a bigger pedophile than Keegan Kline, and yet no one cares. Maybe we need to read this probable cause affidavit and understand what this says. Okay? On April 15th, 2025, Indiana State Police Detective Mike Lorana received information from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children via cyber tip about possible child exploitation. That's the feds. NCMEC is an organization that tracks child pornography and tracks when a person downloads, transmits, or views child pornography. It is standard for the organization to track when these pictures are viewed, downloaded, or transmitted, and then to track the location of who is viewing the child pornography. It is standard for them to then report that to local law enforcement agency in that area to follow up on the tip. NCMEC processed this complaint on April 17, 2025. The incident type is apparent child pornography occurring on April 17th, 2025. The reporting electronic service provider was reported as Microsoft Online Operations with the business address of 1 Microsoft Way, Redmond, Washington. The user or person reported as uploading the images was reported as having an IP address of 67-144-40-180. Utilizing an open source program, what is called What is My IP Address, Detective Lorano was able to determine the IP address in question belongs to a user with Brightspeed. Detective Lorana received 35 images from NCMEC, which show images of girls from partially dressed to completely nude. One image was of a young female laying on a bed, nude from the waist down. She has her legs up in the air and was making a peace sign with her two hands. The images show a male's hand underneath her butt. By the looks of her development, she appears to be between 6 and 8 years old. 6 and 8 years old. Oh my God. Sound familiar? A second image of a young girl on the beach who is nude and kneeling in the sand. The image appears to be associated with a website called whatever. From the looks of her development, she appears to be between 6 and 8 years old. Oh my God. The rest of the images are similar to the ones described. Are they all 6 to 8 years old? On May 13th, 2025, Detective Lorano received a Miami County subpoena for Brightspeed IP address. The information received showed the subscriber for that IP address was Dennis Bridge. Dennis Bridge, who resides at Flora in Carroll County. During my investigation, Detective Lorana learned Dennis Bridges' son, Adam, also resides at the address. On July 17, 2025, ISP Detective Josh Maller, along with Detective Lorano, went to the residence to speak with Dennis Bridge. Dennis advised that he lives at the house with his wife, Libby's grandma, and son, Adam, Libby's uncle. As Detective Lorano was explaining to Dennis the reason for the visit, his son, Adam, Libby's uncle, came outside on his own, stating, "It was me." Detective Lorana asked Adam what he meant, and he stated it was him that was looking at child pornography on his computer. He explained that he was doing drugs, meth. He explained that he was doing drugs, meth. Oh my God. And for a few months ago was doing stupid things. During the conversation, on his own free will, he told detectives that he looked at pictures online of nude boys and girls who were between the ages of 16, 17. Lies, 6 to 8. He put 10 years on those. After speaking with him about his internet activity, Detective Lorana asked him for consent to search his computer, which he gave. Adam, Libby's uncle, proceeded to hand over his computer to detectives. Detective Lorana then applied for and received a search warrant from Carroll County Circuit Court to search the computer. The computer was searched by the ISP laboratory. Detective Lorana received a digital forensic report from the ISP laboratory, which indicated that they were files located that contained child sexual abuse material. Okay? Child sexual abuse material. Detective Lorana was able to review the report and observed several thousand photographs involving children. Oh my God! Several thousand photographs involving children, most of which were children between the ages of 5 and 12, wearing diapers, underwear, or nude. These photos numbered over 2,000. From the forensic download, Detective Lorana was able to tell that Adam started gathering the images back in December of 2019.
Oh my God!
All the way to July 2025. He would download the photos, save them to his computer, oftentimes on his desktop, specifically named files, and then he would modify them as well. He would keep the photos, alter them, and manage them using his laptop computer. He specifically had folders located on his desktop labeled Diaper Boys, Toddler Love, Cutie, 3 to 4 year old, 3 to 4 year old, Toddler Cutie, 5 to 6 years old, Boy Time Underplay, Lego Tin Boy, Tot Love, all containing child pornography that he collected over the years. Among the photos that Detective Lorana located, there were 53 photos that Adam saved, modified, and managed. Each photo was modified in some way and then put in a folder and managed in some way. There were an additional 26 photos of child pornography that were found in his computer. In total, there were 79 images that were child pornography of children years of age that were either used as child pornography or that Adam managed.
Oh my God!
Bruh. So question, y'all. Managed. What does manage mean? You're distributing? Sounds like a Dropbox, doesn't it? Thank you. Silence. Now, remember, back to this. Now, here you got a guy that's a bigger chomo than Keegan Kline, if you could even believe that. 2,000 images. 2,000 images with 79 under 12 years old. Here we got from Keegan Kline's accounts, hey, it's Adam. You're so cute, princess, to a 13-year-old he thinks is 12. Is this the same Adam? All right, y'all. So I'm going to bring in a friend of mine because we're going to discuss some stuff. Now, like I said, what we noticed here, there's a complete blackout of information on this case. There's a complete lack of media coverage. Complete lack. And so one of our friends in the community has done a little boots on the ground journalism in this case, and we're going to show you some of that momentarily. And but in the most recent hearing in Adam's pretrial hearings, Mr. David Noe Ramos had the good fortune to go and attend the hearing. And he's going to come and describe to us and relay to us that hearing. And we're going to discuss some of this. And we're going to also show you some footage that was acquired during the process of this. So everyone in the chat, please, let's welcome in David Noe Ramos. Please, to the best of your ability, please greet our good friend Noe. Okay, let's get him in here.
Oh, sorry. I thought I needed water. I have water.
Noe, hello. Cheers.
Hey, cheers. How you doing, Prof?
I'm doing good. We're trying to grab this breaking news out of Peru, Indiana, Chobo world.
Breaking news. That was
Breaking news.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, you know, it's Dropbox Central.
Oh, of course, yeah. I live 10 minutes that way from Peru, and I've been knowing this has been going on for 2 decades since I've been here, you know. Been seeing all kinds of that sort of activity within this vicinity.
Everyone's saying hello, so I'm sending you the greetings.
Awesome.
All right. All right. So Rebecca Ann says the bird. Yeah. Hello, Noe.
Hello.
Yeah. So you were able to attend Mr. Adam Bridges' recent hearing.
Yeah, well, first of all, Prof, thanks for having me. Like to say hi to everybody on chat, Silence Woman. It's a new day. Me Monday, Deb. Um, yeah, Rebecca Ann, certainly Brittany. Hi, guys. I've been taking some time off from YouTube. I took my channel down. I had to do a couple other things and focus on family. Um, so there was there's been a couple of tragedies in my family here recently, and it has brought our family together closer. It's sad, but it is what it is, right? So I spent a lot of time with my grand granddaughters and my siblings via chat and all that. So I've been gone, but it's really it's thank you, Prof, for having me so that I can say hi to the community. I have followed a few shows and it's just a very nice community.
The best.
Yeah. So yeah, I had the opportunity to attend the Adam Bridge hearing last week, and I I left on Sunday night, and I stayed in Lafayette. I wanted to make sure that I was in Delphi really early because I thought that it would be packed with YouTubers, maybe or at least media. At least a few. We got South Bend right there, Goshen, Fort Wayne, of course, Indianapolis. I figured there's going to be at least, the locals, the local media there. And I wanted to make sure that I was there and I wasn't going to miss it. And um, I wanted to be able to like listen closely to what's going on with this case because it's a huge case. As you described, Prof, it's bigger than Kagan Klein's case. And well, I arrived around about 8:30. The courtroom was already open, and it was um, very just normal, normal business. Not a whole lot going on. I was expecting vans with logos of news media and things of that sort, but no, it was just business as usual in Delphi, Indiana, Carroll County. So I wanted to make sure that um, things were okay. So that everything was fine, like in America, open hearings are public. I mean, I kind of knew that, but I did go in the building and I ran into a few of the courtroom security, and I asked for the clerk's office. So I went straight to the clerk's office and I double checked that Adam Bridge had a hearing at 10 a.m. And on Monday the 13th, I also confirmed that he was required to be in the courtroom in person. And I also confirmed that, it's an open hearing. You can, of course, you got to follow the rules, turn off your phone inside the courtrooms, that sort of thing. But yeah, I told him, well, I'm not like media or anything. I thought there would be a lot of media covering this huge cage, but it wasn't the case. So I made them aware that I was gonna hope to get an interview and maybe possibly some footage for a YouTube channel. So that was the morning, prior to the hearing. So prior to the hearing, yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was hoping you'd get us into the hearing whenever you're ready, and
Okay,
I want to know, like, I'd like you to take us with you, take the audience with you, as if we're all seeing through your eyes from the moment you walked into the courthouse until the moment you walked out. Would you do that for us?
Yeah. So far that's what I've been doing. So I've taken you to the point where it's about maybe 9 o'clock. Okay, 9 a.m. And I've only seen a court security staff member, the clerk, and that's it. And for those who know the Carroll County building, you walk up the stairwell and then you get to the second floor. I believe the courtroom is in the second floor. So it's kind of like a big old round walkway with, you can see down and you can see the main lobby on the first floor. So I kind of hung around there, and the bailiff that I had talked to when I came out of the clerk's office, he asked me if I was here for court, and I said, no, I'm not. And he said, okay, well, are you on probation or something? And I said, no, I'm just here to I'm here as public for a case hearing. And he was kind. He was okay with it, but he did ask me what was my purpose. So then at about 9, maybe a little after 9, about 9:05 or so, I figured it was time to enter the courtroom. And upon entering, to the right, of course, is the judge's bench. Shane Evans was sitting there. I recognized him immediately.
What are the odds? What are the odds?
Mr. Shane Evans, of course. Then way in the back of the courtroom, we had another bailiff, another man in uniform, and in the prosecutor's table was Stacy Diener wearing a pink outfit. And
wait. You mean Stacy Diener, who's being endorsed by Becky Patty?
Yes.
Being endorsed by Steve Mullen, being endorsed by Nick McClellan, being endorsed by Murder Sheet.
Kevin and Anya.
Yeah. Okay.
That one. Yeah, and I believe she's going to be a prosecutor in the neighboring county. Is that right, Prof?
If she wins the election.
If she wins the election, yeah. Well, did she? She's who's she does. I don't think she's got much of competition. So anyway, I'm not gonna get into politics. That's their business. But so Miss Stacy Diener Next to her, Nick McClelland. Nick
What are the
McClelland,
odds?
looking the same with his hair slicked to back, blue, a blue suit. And then there was a case going on. There was an inmate, a guy in orange, in an orange jumpsuit. So that went on for a good 10, 15 minutes, and I really wasn't paying attention to what was going on. I was there for the Adam Bridge hearing. So that one went on, and then there was another one, another case that went before Adam, Mr. Bridges' case. Um, and that lasted about a good 30 minutes. It was I think it had to do with a driving violation, kind of like driving while suspended type of violation. It was a citizen from Delphi, and he was there with his lawyer, and then they came in, and then they exited, and then the court got real quiet. After that hearing, Shane Evans disappeared, Stacy disappeared, Nick disappeared, and it was just me and the bailiff. And I started to get a little worried, right? And I'm sitting here with a sketchbook, my briefcase, and I'm looking at the door and I'm looking at the bench. And behind me, where's everybody? And it's just the bailiff behind me. And so I think he came closer to me and he asked me a question. And he asked me if I was an artist. And I said, I'm here to draw a few sketches. Yes. And he said, okay. And that was it. That was all the interaction I had with that bailiff. So just before 10 o'clock, there comes Adam Bridge with two individuals, opens the door, comes in.
And that's that he comes in with Libby's grandmother
Yes.
and step grandfather.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I did not know that at that time. Okay. But they walk in, and then another guy walks in right soon after them, and he goes and he sits way in the back. Tall guy, older guy with long hair and a ponytail, brown suit. And
sounds familiar.
so then now the Bridges sat maybe a row behind me, but to my left, closer to the middle aisle. Oh, sorry. Closer to the middle aisle. And then when the gentleman walked in after them, Adam Bridge got up and went and sat with him at the very far left corner. There's like this little booth thing with a desk type of thing. And that's when I started drawing. I started drawing a sketch. I'm sorry, I skipped. I skipped a little bit, but during the second hearing, the driving violation hearing, I quickly drew a sketch of Nick, which I have here. Haven't published it, and then okay, so now I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna move.
Come on,
forward.
give us a preview. Give us a preview.
Yeah, well, I forgot about the sketch I drew on Nick McLean while he was doing that first case. Anyway, so I'm gonna go back, move forward. So I kind of sat to where I could have a good view, and I started sketching Adam Bridge. And I had just a very perfect view on his parents, who were just behind me, but I kind of moved around so that I could just have a perfect view, a better view on Adam Bridge. So that's how that went. So here, a few minutes after, maybe this is now about 10:15. about 10:15, they call Adam Bridge to the table. So they get up, or Adam, Shane Evans came out from his chambers, sat on the bench, court recorder, of course. Then they didn't even, most courts, they'll say like, the honorable, somebody will come up like the bailiff and say, hey, the honorable so and so, everybody please rise. None of that, bro. It was just like he come out, got sat down. Then there comes Diener and Stacy Diener and Nick McClelland. They sit in their
Boy, I
perspective
would have loved
spot.
to heard that conversation that went on between them all. You know,
Well, yeah,
there was
it's
a little
interesting. They had
discussion, a little
team
powwow.
meeting, a little
Hmm.
team meeting. So we get ready to roll, right? So I'm like, so I had my preliminary sketch, and I kind of like, I wanted to put that up. I had one of Nick, one of Adam, and I wanted to put that up so that I could listen and see what was going on. I thought we were going to find a little bit of discovery, maybe. I've learned more about the case here on your show than anything there. Uh, so I kind of put my stuff up, and I'm all ears, and I even lean forward. I'm ready, bruh. I I can't remember the defense attorney's name, but Adam's attorney starts talking, and I can't hear a damn thing, man. I'm like, so I'm doing this number. I'm like really trying to focus, but I did hear like a silhouette voice of words that said continuation, right? Or not continuation. I'm sorry. Um Schedule, or I heard that word, and I'm like, oh no. So in my mind, I thought he's probably getting a continuation, right? I think I heard a date or schedule or something like that, and that's all I could hear. And then Shane Evans says, "Mr. McClelland, do you have any objections?" And Nick said, "No, Your Honor, I don't." Okay. Then Shane Evans announced, okay, well, this da 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 said for da 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 2026. And that's all I heard. You are dismissed. Literally, prof, it took less than 3 minutes. So when I saw that this was just it was just like routine. It was routine. This wasn't really not a legal, pre-trial hearing. It was just uh,
Going through
blah
the
blah blah
motions.
blah 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 blah. Okay, everybody go. Okay. Then I got up. I grabbed my bag. I got up and I went outside and I sat outside the bench, the first bench outside the courtroom, and I waited right there. So a few seconds later, here comes Adam Bridge and his parents, and they sit on the other bench across from me, and we're basically looking at each other from about maybe 12 to 15 feet away from each other. Um, and I had my phone ready. I wanted to, well, the community wanted to know what was going on, right? And since nobody's covering, I said, well, somebody has to do something here. So I had my phone ready, and I approached the Bridges, and I asked Mr. Bridge if what happened, when was this scheduled for? And Mr. Bridge declined comment, and he turned around and walked away. So I was like, oh well, waste of time, but oh well, I'm here. Might as well. keep going forward. So I turn around and I start walking back, and there comes the defense attorney, and I'm like, well, maybe I can get something here, and well, sure enough, I got him to talk, and which is interesting to me. What I found out is that he's taken it to trial, to jury trial. Uh, who takes 78 counts of child porn to trial?
Nobody.
It's insane. I cannot believe it. Um, so this just right there, Prof, it tells me that there's some shenanigans are going on here.
It's got Keegan Klein vibes all over again.
Yeah, all over again. Something's going on here. I mean, they're gonna handpick the jurors. You know, jurors are gonna be from Carroll County. So they're gonna. My speculation is that they're gonna prep this jury trial.
Got cousins, family, and
Cousins,
friends.
all that. Yeah, this is Indiana. Absolutely, yes. Uh, Maybe co-workers, co-chomos, the
Former DCS employees who know
mhm,
everybody.
a chomo here, chomo there, and I predict that this guy's gonna get community corrections, probation. Now, listen, bro, if he is found guilty just by simple math, he should receive at least 80 to 100 years.
Yeah, true. Because let me ask you. Stop here. How many years did Keegan Klein get for just 35 or so?
43 years.
43 years. So if you have twice that, you would expect twice that. So Adam Bridge should be looking at 80 to 90 years. You would assume.
Yeah, just simple math. If you want to just.
I mean, if we're going to make this a big deal like Keegan Klein was made a big deal.
And that's what I don't understand. I mean, or why was Kegan Klein's made a big deal? Because of Abby and Libby? What's the difference here? I mean, we have an account, that Emily Ann 45 account. We got Adam's name popping in. The dates are very close to what in
Ooh, yeah,
2019.
These dates
Too
are.
too too many variables there to. Why not? Uh, Before I came to this show, I was watching. I watched for about 10 or 15 minutes. I was watching another creator, uh,
Who shall
and
remain unnamed.
yeah, and they started talking about Adam Bridge. How it doesn't matter. Why should it matter that he's related to the family and he's not even related to the family? And just excuse after excuse to protect, to cover. You know, the community wants to know when a pedophile is uploading 78 or
2000. He's
2,000 images.
bigger than Keegan Klein. This is the thing. Bigger than Keegan Klein is infamous worldwide, infamous. And no one's saying a word about Adam Bridge when he's twice Keegan Klein.
Yes, I urge everybody who's watching this, or to especially if you live here in the state of Indiana and you care about the safety of the youth of the state of Indiana, I encourage everybody to call their local media and ask them to please cover this huge cage out of Delphi, Indiana, Carroll County. Um, I know I have a few contacts that I've met over the time, and plus, these news uh, outlets, they usually have tip lines, things like that that you can call, and really, this needs to be put out, and people need to know, and we want to see what happens with. I want to see what happens with this because it's just a few miles from here, and this guy was committing horrible crimes against children, and for a long time, and it's just not right. Just because
He's the Keegan Klein of Carroll County.
he's the Kick and Klein of Carroll County, and it
Absolutely.
seems like nobody cares. But why would why would anybody want to come to Wabash, Indiana, to cover a violation for playing guitar at a winery, for entering a winery, or for a small trespass charge, and then you have YouTubers swarming the Wabash County courtroom to cover that, but not one YouTuber on Monday for the Adam Bridge case. Huge case.
Say that again. Okay, so Noe. So are you saying not one single reporter, not one single photographer, not one single ISP officer like they were over at Kagan's?
Well, I was in Miami County when Kagan changed his plea, and then I went back for sentencing. There was at least 20 news media personnel, maybe 50 law enforcement, and or more, maybe 60, 50, 60 law enforcement. You had FBI there. You had the marshals were there, ISP, local, then plus maybe
Jerry Holman, David
David
Vito, Doug
Vito.
Carter,
Mhm.
FBI, all of these people at
All
Kagan
of
Club.
them, all of them.
And not a single person other than yourself at Adam Bridge.
At Adam Bridges, it doesn't make sense to me.
Not a single article other than the one.
It's called the hush hush.
No news reports. I haven't seen a single news report on any of the Indiana news stations.
They want to keep it hush hush because I mean, I hate to say it, but they are trying to hide something, Prof, or protect someone, Prof.
Well, let me ask you this.
I don't know if it's themselves from being scrutinized in the public, nationwide or whatever, or a local.
Well, I mean, wasn't Keegan Klein selling burner phones that were preloaded with account access to all of this stuff?
Yes.
What are the odds that perhaps Adam Bridge purchased one of the burner phones from Keegan Klein?
When I talked to Kagan in 2022 in Miami County, he described to me that he was one of those guys who knew the streets, and he described himself as a hustler, and he could get anything. He had a hustle. He could get anything he wanted, from weapons to phones. He could get electronics. He could get crack, meth, weed, that sort of
little girls.
And he did. So, I mean, what is this Bridge guy? What is this Bridge guy doing? I mean, if he's twice as bad as Kagan, what is this Bridge guy doing? And then it's such a small community, such a small area, and like a good 70 to 80% of the community in that small area in Carroll County. I mean, look at all the crap that's happened. You know, Flora girls, you got Libby, Abby and Libby, Norfleet, you know, all kinds of corruption, what happened to Jesse Snyder, you know, and now you have Adam Bridge. I mean, what do you expect us to think? What do you expect us to, what's going on in this county, man? Judges recusing themselves from making stupid, you know, rulings that favor this or that, recusing themselves, prosecutors stepping down, a mayor becomes the judge and the judge becomes the prosecutor. Then it's just what's going on in this county, man. That's what we want to know. And in the meantime, you got all the bikers swarming town every year, and all these money exchange going on, and parks and walkways. What's going on in Carroll County? The community wants to know. The community wants to know why Adam Bridges' case is so hush hush. I need to get some water. I'll be right back.
Yeah, and look, while Noe's leaving, I'm going to show this. This is from 4chan, from Friday, November 5th, 2021. Okay, Friday, November 5th, 2021. Some anonymous person comes to 4chan and says, his name is Adam Bridge. I went to high school with him. I knew I recognized Bridge Guy. What's even crazier is it is Liberty's mom's little brother. Eric Williams and Joseph Bridge, Adam's older brother, are covering some things up for him. Hopefully this is the tip they need. Please don't contact me. Friday, November 5th, 2021. Why is someone coming into 4chan and dropping Adam Bridges' name, Joseph Bridges' name, and Eric Williams' name? Why are they coming in here and saying Adam Bridge, Joseph Bridge, Eric Williams are covering some things up in November of 2021? No one finds this odd?
I think I recently heard a recording, I believe by David Erskine. Very interesting recording, where he claims that there's some kind of perverted old man and all these weirdos, and that's what this comment reminds me. It's like they knew that this group of weirdos, you know, there's talk about the parties that went on at Mears, at Mears and Logan.
Yeah.
Look, man, if you go to the cemetery, well, by the way, I'd like to announce that I will be in Delphi, Indiana very soon over the weekend, filming and recording some footage, Friday, Saturday. So I'll be in Delphi. But Prof, if you go to the cemetery, I know you've been there, but I don't know if you walked quite a bit in the cemetery area. But if you go into the back of the cemetery, okay, and you go to the Ron Logan side, there's a gate, and all you gotta do is just look over the gate, and you can see the party spot. Okay, you can see trunks that are used as seats, and they have like a place where they have bonfires. You can see beer cans and things of that nature. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a complete mess, but not. I mean, I've crossed that so many times. I've been there, dude. I can guarantee you, I stood in that area, on that corner by the cemetery, where I could tell people partied there. The grass is gone. It's different, you know. You can tell people hang out there. Okay, and you got mirrors across the street. Okay, we all know that the Mears, they had the butcher shop, but if you look further back towards the left side of the house in the back, there's a couple more barns over there. And those were famous for overnight parties, underage drinking, and
Sunday alcohol
Sunday
selling.
bootleg alcohol. Okay? Come on, Delphi. Say it ain't, it isn't so. Talk about it. What's going on? I mean, they think we don't know, and they want to portray themselves like the elite, pristine, immaculate community.
The most perfect German Baptist you've ever seen in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So,
they can. Let me say one more thing. Delphi, go and sell that pig to Kristen. Okay, go and sell that dirty pig to Kevin and Anya. To them kind of people. I am not buying that dirty pig. I know what goes on in the streets of North Central Indiana. And that's why they hate me so much. And I'm going to continue to be outspoken. I am going to continue to go and record, report, and publish. Because if the media doesn't want to go, Kristen, what's her channel? You know who I'm talking about. Okay. You know the Kristen I'm talking about?
The witch.
The witch and all the other, the behind the shit door and all that. They don't want to go and cover this case. Well, guess what? I am. I've been a citizen of the state of Indiana for nearly 30 years. And I have every right to do so. Protected by the First Amendment, free speech. Okay? So say whatever you want, Dennis, and do whatever you want. I will lawyer up and we'll take it all the way. No problem. No problem. I will lawyer up. But no, you are not going to intimidate me or scare me into not going and covering this.
No matter how
case.
many sticks are formed in your driveway, no matter how many jackets are left at your front door, no matter how many mails come to your mail,
I don't
no
care.
matter how many stickers are put on your vehicle,
Put on my car. Go ahead.
No matter how many bikers follow you, nope.
And all the comments or and channels or whatever you want to do and put me out there as a crazy old man or whatever. I don't care. Nothing's going to stop me from exercising my First Amendment right. And doing what others don't want to do. They're doing this, bro. They're turning the blind eye.
Well, speaking of that, okay, you were boots on the ground. The
Yes.
only fucking person who had the wherewithal to show up. Let's pull up the first clip. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we let's share with all of you a little glimpse into the goings on here. So let me I had a catastrophe here. So let's go into here and show you guys this one. This is the first little clip. These are very brief, so you guys don't worry. Get your popcorn out. Just we'll play it twice or so.
I got peanuts.
Excuse me, Mr. Bridge. Mr. Bridge. When was your hearing scheduled for, sir? Mr. Bridge. I'm recording for a channel.
Shame.
Do you have anything to say, sir? Excuse me, sir. What's your
Why
name?
are they running?
Are you Mr. Bridges' attorney?
The shame.
When was his trial hearing scheduled?
What? Sorry?
His trial hearing?
25th.
August 25th?
Yeah.
Okay. Has a plea been offered?
It's confidential.
Yes,
All right,
it's
thank you, sir.
confidential.
What is your name?
Of course, it's
Excuse me? Can you say that again?
Confidentiality.
Patrick Manahan.
Thank you, sir.
Hush, hush. Hush, hush,
the
in other
hush
words.
hush. I call it the hush hush, Carroll County.
Let's watch it again. Maybe we'll catch something the second time.
I like it when he says
It is a plea being
confidential.
offered. It's confidential. Well, guarantee you a plea's being offered.
Well, I mean, obviously he didn't want it. He took it to trial.
Well, he's going to do what Kagan did. He's going to wait till the last minute, till the oh shit moment. Yeah.
Excuse me, Mr. Bridge. Mr. Bridge. When was your hearing scheduled for, sir? Mr. Bridge. I'm recording for a channel. Do you have anything to say, sir? Excuse me, sir. What's your name? Are you Mr. Bridges' attorney? When was his trial hearing scheduled?
What? Sorry?
His trial hearing?
25th.
August 25th?
Yeah.
Okay. Has a plea been offered?
It's confidential.
All right. Thank you, sir. What is your name?
That blows me away. With
Excuse me.
I think
Can you
that's
say that again?
Sure, Patrick
peak of the
Manahan.
video.
Thank you, sir.
Where is everybody? Where is
Oh.
Why is there not a single other
Nothing.
person
Nope.
interested in this story?
Nothing. I mean, when I walked downstairs, I didn't pass anyone. Not even the guards were there. They were gone. They were eating donuts or coffee or something. It was a guy and a lady.
I guarantee you they'll be there next time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna promise you this, no, there'll be a show of force the next time.
Oh yeah, and I hope so. I hope so. Let they can do their thing. I'm gonna do my thing, and I mean, what can they do and or say? I've heard rumors about lawsuits and addresses being passed around. Like I said, I was just watching 10 minutes of a show before I came here, and this YouTuber from Greenwood, Indiana, who had dabbled into the molestation as well. He announced that allegedly he announced that Becky Patty called him in the middle of the night, and she wanted addresses and names and phone numbers. Robin Boudreaux in Montrose, Colorado, a guy from Wabash, and a lady from Illinois. Okay, and then he announced that lawsuits are coming. Lawsuits are coming. Stay tuned in your mailbox because lawsuits are coming. And he clearly announced, and I said, "Oh man, this is just I'm that fool, that fake veteran. He's talks so much, but he never delivers." I'll give you a simple example. When I had my troubles last year, and I had to go into the Hyatt Regency, he announced that he was gonna make sure that he was going to contact Wabash County, and he was going to make sure that I spent more time because he had something cooking for me. Okay. Never delivered. Okay. So now they're announcing lawsuits because I covered a case, and I've read some comments as well from certain individuals. Um, Another thing is they're talking about that we're not to touch this case. We're not to touch Flora. We're not to
Oh,
talk about.
Flora. Yeah, we're going to talk about Flora. I'd like to say hello to Kathy Clendenning. Okay. Kathy Clendenning, the person who probably cares more about Flora, out here in these YouTube streets. Uh, we're going to talk about Flora because
Mhm.
Flora needs to be talked about. No one else is talking about Flora. Are we trying to hush Flora too? Because we're
Yeah.
not going to hush Delphi, and we're not going to hush Flora.
Look,
We're
bro,
not going to hush Adam Bridge,
they think they own.
and we're not going to hush Keegan Klein.
They think they own Carroll County, Peru, Cass. They think they own it. They think that they're entitled, some sense of entitlement or something in these cases. You can't tell us not to talk about it. And when you do tell us not to talk about it, I wonder why. It's why? Why are you
Quack. The
too much
silencing intimidation doesn't work
the
anymore.
quack?
So
It's the
fuck it.
quack,
Yeah.
Prof. And it's not gonna happen. Like Prof said it. I don't care how many stickers you put in my car or how many mail or jackets you want to put in my foyer or wind chimes. Come on, you can record my house, record me as I'm walking in and out. Yeah, use your hidden channels to do what you want to do. If you guys think we don't know,
Oh,
quack.
11 subs. Oh
Yeah,
my
go
God, you
ahead,
guys are
do.
killing
It's
us.
not gonna stop me. I'm letting you guys know. I am going to be in Delphi, Indiana, in 2 days. And I will continue to be in Delphi, Indiana. Now, I can go to the Abbey and Libby in Moore Park, but oh well, I don't really want to go. I mean, when you get targeted just because. I mean, I can guarantee you that if anybody else would have been there doing a live stream, they wouldn't have gotten banned from the damn park. But I did, right? Well, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be in Delphi, Indiana. I will be at the courthouse, and I will try to interview Mr. Adam Bridge again because the community wants to know what enters this man's head to like be interested in the type of content that he uploaded to his computer or phone devices, and not just like maybe one by mistake or two. No, thousands. What's going on? Can you please let us know what's going on?
I'm asking you for
And
an
or
interview.
why do you do this to children in our community? Can you answer? Where were you on February 13th of 2017, Mr. Bridge?
Calling the cops? Go ahead. I'm asking you for an interview. They can't do anything.
He is an uncle. He is a bridge, and he is a guy. Uncle Bridge guy. I mean, there he is. That's Uncle Bridge guy. Shame.
I'm asking you for an interview.
When I got back from Delphi, I showed this footage to my boss. This is what I was doing, man, up in Delphi. Check it out. And I explained to him the whole situation.
Calling the cops? Go ahead. I'm asking you for an interview.
And
they can't do
he
anything.
was like, he looks like one. He looks like a child predator. He acts like one. I mean, when he turned away and walks away from the camera, I mean, if you have the
Oh well,
closer
before I move on,
uh,
don't you find it odd that the date was the 13th? His hearing was on the 13th.
Monday, the 13th.
The 13th, 13. I just want to
You said
emphasize that his
Monday the
his
13th.
the
Yeah,
13th was his hearing, the one you just saw the footage of
it
here.
was Monday the 13th, right? Is that what you're saying?
It was the 13th is my point. The 13th. 13th.
Oh,
13.
okay. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's,
Yeah.
I guess it is. You know how they do it in Carroll, man.
Yeah, 213. 213. Everything is 13. 213-year-olds and 213 and 213 and
213.
2,310 and
Yeah.
and 312 and
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So, all right, guys. Well, look, we're not going to stay here much longer. I think we'll just do maybe like 20 more minutes or so, 15, 20 more minutes. But
I do that.
since Noe no longer has a YouTube channel and he's a guest appearance here, I asked Noe if he want to do Q&A. So at this point, we'll just do a little discussion with the chat, and then we'll get out of here. It'll be a shorter show than usual, but that's kind of nice sometimes. This is a breaking news segment, another CSAM bust in Peru, Indiana, and Adam Bridge update with special guest Noe Ramos. So, yeah, guys, if you have any questions, we'll do a Q&A, and otherwise we'll just have a little discussion. It doesn't just have to be for Noe. You guys can discuss in the chat, and we'll include you here on the screen. But that is our show for the evening. So we'll just go on out with a little Q&A, and we'll catch you guys later this week.
So here we are. You're welcome, Deb.
Thank you, Noe, says Deb. So that's Noe's update. I find it really alarming that no one how does this work? Okay, how does this work? It was an absolute media frenzy for years with Kagan Klein, who was only charged with, what was it, 45 or so?
It started at 45. I remember they dropped 10 because they couldn't.
And then we got Adam Bridge, 78 counts, and absolute crickets. No one cares. Even Google is lying about it.
I have a question. Where is Kevin and Anya? Weren't Kevin and Anya murder sheet all over Kagan?
What? Yeah. Where's Hidden True Crime?
Hidden True Crime.
Where is what's her name?
The one evidence, whatever. And where's True Crime Investigates?
Where are all the local media, the true crime, the local stations? Where's Caitlin Jendo? What is it? Caitlin Kendall?
Caitlin Kendall.
Where
I
is
her? I messaged her. I'm in contact with her.
I
have her contact.
Where is Rafael Sanchez?
Where's Rafael Sanchez?
Where is the
Rich
Journal
Nye.
and Curry, Ron Wilkins,
Rich Nye.
Rich Nye. I don't know.
I mean,
Nobody finds it odd.
Yeah, I do. I certainly do.
Okay.
Do you see questions, Prof?
Yeah, T. Boone Pickens, welcome. T. Boone says, what comparisons will be done when he submits his DNA to the state? Do we even want it? Are they even going to ask for his DNA? Are they even going to go and inspect his devices? Yeah, Russ McQuaid. Thank you, honey. Thank you, honey. Are they even going to go? Where's Angela Ganote? Yeah, where's anyone? Where's Marvin? You know, that guy, that drunk guy?
The drunk guy?
Yeah, where? Okay, so
behind the evidence.
Do they even care? Are they even going to take his devices? Are they going to figure out what devices he had in 2017? Are they going to even investigate this guy at all? Or is it going to be all sweep under the rug, hush, 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 hush? What's going to
Absolutely.
happen? They, like I said, they made Keegan Kline worldwide famous.
Mm-hmm. Infamous.
Everything that happened with him was covered by hundreds of people. Only one person covering this thing, and that's you.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised, Prof, if the bad actors in the troll farm and them kind of people are gonna contact Carroll County.
Well, that's why they're threatening us now. You know, do
Yeah,
you know
they're
why they're
threatening
threatening us now?
lawsuits.
Because of this right here. Look, they're threatening
Mm-hmm.
us now because of Emily Ann 45. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know why else they're probably threatening us now? Let me show you. They're also threatening us now because of let's see, where is
The
it?
phone, the
The
phone,
phone. The
the
phone.
phone
Where is that? Let's see.
distraction.
This right
Uh,
here. This right here in the phone.
There, that right there,
That right there.
that image right there was presented on this other channel before I came here, and and you know what you know what the angle that they took was that why would anybody present this when there's names of minors
Who
and there's
cares?
names of minors, okay?
Yeah,
And
you guys want to see something interesting? Look,
well, it is very strange that this guy who had 2,000 images on his phone is amongst all those minors, and on the phone contacts of a murdered niece.
yeah, you guys want to hear something? Let me point this out because I noticed this when I was looking at this and I didn't really look at number 44 down here. Look at the username Lost Boy Winchester. You guys find that kind of odd? Winchester? Lost Winchester? Lost Boy Winchester. I mean, I'm just saying it's the overtones, the mythic or the metaphors and the overtones and all of this linguistics, like bridge, Winchester, you know, Snapchat. Yeah, but that's why they're mad, and they're mad because of this right here, Emily Ann 45, and they're mad because of this right here. You know, Eric Williams, Joseph Bridge, you know, and they're mad, and okay, they're mad, and they're also mad, I guess, because of this right here, you know.
This is what they said. The creator of that channel, he said, "What does it matter that this guy, and he's not even blood related to the family?
He is blood related.
Absolutely. Libby's grandmother is his mother. I mean, come on.
His mother, Carrie, and his mother are the same him and Carrie share the same mother.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I guess they're lying like Google is. They're lying like Google and the Carroll County Comet. It's a hush hush job. It's a Barry job.
It's a hush hush, man.
Just like Richard Allen.
Well, I'm gonna be talking to somebody, and if they don't want to answer, that's fine. That's their prerogative. But I am going to do my duty.
Okay, so there's a question I can answer.
Okay.
What, if anything, did they locate during the Wabash River? Oh, I'm glad you asked that. Do you want to know what they located? Well, you'd be shocked to find out what they located. They located several firearms, a handful of guns. They located several knives and bladed weapons. They located box cutters. They located several cell phones. They located a Garmin, other electronic devices, a scanner. So what did they locate in the Wabash River search? Everything you would expect them to locate and talk about. But you know what's funny? Hush, hush. You've never heard any of that. Supposedly they found nothing except a bunch of guns, a bunch of knives, some box cutters, a bunch of phones.
Yeah, I knew they had found knives. Yeah, everybody in Peru knew they had found knives. I spoke to several locals in Peru.
Okay, let's see. What else we got here?
I saw a quiz. Oh, here. Do they have, this is Trout Junkie. Do they have legal grounds to sue any of you?
Well, we'll let the lawyers figure that out. Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, all I can say is that they're going to have to talk to my lawyer.
Let's see.
Oh, man. I need more water, Prof. Give me a minute, second.
Okay, so. Yeah, but it's good enough. Just a minute there.
Yes,
yeah, guys.
Brittany. Yes, Brittany, we have the freedom of speech. I'm in.
Let's see, where's Brittany?
Perd has a comment, a pretty good comment. Are you getting ready to close it, Prof? Perd
Yeah, I mean, I don't see too much.
Did you see the Perd comment? It's Ashbrook steers everyone away from the Dropbox.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's the funny thing. Yeah, you guys notice this. Do you guys notice that the cranks don't want to talk about none of this either? Just putting it out there. Okay.
Okay, Trout Junkie has a comment here. Libby's grandmother's son and daughter married. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. Okay, Libby's. Oh, I lost it.
I don't want to talk about that trial.
Okay.
I don't spread rumors. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
Let's see.
I was just trying to figure out the equation here. It's hard in Indiana. Vicarious vigilante, freedom of press. Yay. Freedom of press. Absolutely.
Hope several people can show
up. I have had my work published in many capacities, in both here in Indiana and in Texas. And I am a lands-free artist, and I have every right to report, record, and publish. Yes, Vicarious Vigilante. All right, I'll leave it up to you, Prof, if you see any others.
Yeah, they went hush hush, Brittany. They had a change of direction. Remember the other actors? Remember the other actors? Whatever happened to the other actors? Let me see if maybe I'll pull one more up for before we go, if I can find it. You remember the other actors? Let's see. Who knows if I can even find that. I probably won't be able to, but where Nick McClelland says, we have reason to believe there are other actors. Of course, that all went away. When they got under threats and forced drugging and complete psychosis during unprecedented solitary confinement, Richard Allen, quote unquote, confessed to shooting the girls, raping them, and said he was God and the world was going to end as he masturbated while he sang Mama, Don't Let Your Babies to Grow Up to Be Cowboys. But sure, those confessions matter. All right, so thank you, Noe and Pra, for your hard work and not being paid off. All right, from the beginning, they wanted us to look at multiple people. That's the point. But now they say, no, there's no tentacles. There's many tentacles, except there's no tentacles. Don't worry about it. Sketch is not a photograph.
And when you combine them together, you get Richard Allen.
Mm-hmm. Oh. And I'll be thinking about that family. I'm gonna take my last breath on my deathbed. And this is the embodiment of evil. But you know, it's just Richard Allen. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah, guys. So I think we're out of here pretty soon. I guess I want to thank everyone for coming in here and hanging out with me and Noe. We truly appreciate it and hope you got informed by some of this tonight.
Well,
and no, we are not going to stop talking about flora. Actually, since you mentioned it, we're going to be talking more about flora. We're going to be talking about how there's a federal investigation underway and has been for several years, and the FBI is investigating this, and eventually those flora locals who killed those 4 young ladies and are everyone's covering for, that's going to be exposed, and people will go down, and the people who helped obstruct justice and aid and abet will go down. And maybe there'll be some houses of cards fall down in Delphi and in Peru, Indiana. We don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, I wanna send a message here while I have this chance that we are going to be talking to Flora. We are going to be going to Flora, and we are going to be recording, reporting, and publishing from Flora, Indiana. Okay.
And we're going to Crown Hill again. Also, we'd like to
yes, we are going to Crown Hill. And understand that I'm talking to you from Greenwood, Indiana. You do not have any jurisdiction to nothing just because I talked to Becky Patty. Okay. That's not going to happen. Okay, my friends from Illinois, we will be in Flora. And if Kathy has a problem, Kathy, you can always call me. Oh, no, you can't call me because I have a brand new number. No, I can call you, but I will call you from a different number. If you have a problem, Kathy, we can perhaps talk it out. But the guy from Greenwood, we are going to be in Flora.
Nobody owns Flora. Excuse me. Nobody owns Flora. It's a horrific case of the murders of 4 little baby girls. No one owns that case, just like no one owns the Delphi case or the Kagan Klein case or the Adam Bridge case.
Have you guys ever noticed? Have you ever clicked on the Flora the website? You click on that website, and all it is a purple background with 4 black angels and a little button that says "Donate here."
No, it's okay, Noe. You haven't seen it in a while. I'll tell you about it later. It's got a lot of resources now. So
I know it does, but the main button that donate here. They're talking about they're getting ready to do something more for money. To make money.
Well, my recommendation to anyone in either of these communities, to be completely honest with all of you, do not donate whatsoever to any fundraiser you ever see, whether it be defense, whether it be tip fundraiser, or whether it be anything. The donations are always misappropriated. And if you haven't learned your lessons by now, well, I don't know what to tell you. Go donate to the people you like, period.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, and last I want to say again, I'm aware, okay, accordingly about lawsuits, and I'm ready, I'm prepared. So welcome. Okay. Now I want to say goodnight to your audience, Prof. Everybody here. I mean, it's just too many to go, but certainly Deb, Vicarious, Brittany, It's a New Day, Silence Woman, all you guys. I love you guys. I've been watching and I've been around. I just had to put my channel down. Uh, there was a tragedy in my family that affected us tremendously, and it has also helped me to really do other things. And I'm doing well. Um, a lot of work, and I'm still here. So, Prof, thank you for having me, and I am out of here. Everybody have a good night.
Thanks for coming and thanks for sharing, Noe.
Yeah, see you in Delphi.
Cheers. Okay, Noe Unleashed. Noe Unleashed.
I forgot, but I'll get it right here.
FAFO. So good night, Noe, and God bless Noe, and all of you out there. Thank you for hanging out tonight. I truly appreciate you coming and getting the update on the Chomo in Peru, Indiana. Oddly enough, and the Adam Bridge update with Noe Amos. So that's what's going on, and apparently a lot of people are upset because they don't want us discussing these things, and I just am trying to wrap my mind around that. Don't want us discussing Flora. Don't want us discussing Adam Bridge. Don't want us discussing Peru, Indiana Chomos. Don't want us discussing the Dropbox. Don't want us discussing the fake video on the phone that's been wiped. Don't want us discussing the photoshopping of the Abbey on the bridge and all the other shit and the trail cams. And do not discuss Delphi, Flora, Adam Bridge, Peru, Indiana, Dropbox, Keegan Klein. No talkie. So you got to ask yourself, why not? What the fuck? Where's the harm? How about the world should be discussing Flora, right? The world. All eyes on Flora. The world should be discussing Delphi. The world should be discussing Peru, Indiana Chomos, and Flora, Indiana Chomos, and Carroll County, Indiana Chomos, Delphi, Indiana Chomos. Where's the harm? The fact that you get so upset when we talk about the Dropbox, when we talk about Adam Bridge, when we talk about Peru, Indiana, when we talk about anything that matters is really the tell there. Anyhow, I'll leave it with Trial Junkie True Crimes. Where's the Flora documentary? Where are the Flora documentaries? Where? Let's have one. And let's have one that actually spreads awareness about what was done to these girls so that everyone knows, and maybe the community will grow some balls and talk about it. When you attempt to stifle public discourse on high profile and contentious topics, you're showing that you're not here in good faith. Anyhow, we'll see you guys at another time and truly appreciate that. And yeah, there will be no stopping. So I'll see you guys very soon, maybe even tomorrow night, if not Friday, or who knows. I never know what I'm going to do because the days are very busy, but God bless all of you. And yeah, hug your families, hug your kids, hug your wives, your husbands, enjoy your lives, and keep doing what is interesting to you and brings you fulfillment, because that's what I'll do, and that's what Noah will do, and all of our chatters here, and we just love all of you, and thank you. And this is a nice community that we appreciate sharing time with each other and ideas and thoughts. So that's what we're gonna do. But yeah, until next time, I'll see you. I truly appreciate you catching the update. Remember, this is breaking news. This just broke at 5 p.m. Eastern today. And so we brought it to you as soon as possible tonight. And we're so glad to be able to get Noe on to talk about his experience trying to look at this Peru, Indiana, Florida, Indiana, Delphi, Indiana, and all of these other cases, and his experience in the courtroom with Adam Bridge. So I appreciate you all. Do me a favor, do me a solid, hit the thumbs up. Do me a favor, hit the like, and also leave me comments down below as you watch the replay if you happen to be watching a replay. But yeah, so glad to see everyone. I'll say good night to some of you out here. Okay, so who we got in here? We got Arthur Claremont. Arthur Claremont. Thank you, Arthur. Okay, thank you, Pertinent. Thank you, Fur Baby Daddy. Thank you, Silenced Woman. All right. Thank you, Goose's Gammy. Thank you, Vicarious Vigilante. Thank you, Datrol Patrol. Thank you, American Night Mom. Thank you, Brittany Renee. All right. Thank you, It's a New Day. Thank you, Rebecca Ann. Thank you, Carol, also known as Lita Joe. Thank you, Monday. Thank you, Maria Alma. Thank you, Oh Hey Christina. All right. Thank you, Nancy Drew 101. Thank you, the prof. All right. I'm not seeing anybody else. I probably missed a lot of you. Thank you, Matt Payton. There he is. Thank you, Matt. All right, guys. Hopefully I'll catch some more of you in the way. Hey, what up, JoJo? Thank you, JoJo. JoJo. Thank you, Court of Public Opinion. Thank you, Artist Formerly Known. What's up? What's up? Good night, Prof. And thank you all. Thank you, Artist. Scott's dead. Well, hey, Scott. Funny to see you around here, but sorry you're late, and I guess you missed a lot. All right. I truly do miss Georgina Taylor. I haven't seen her in a while. Where is she? She missed us tonight. She's pretty negligent at times, so I hear. All right, let's see. We got Dennis McKean. What up, Dennis McKean? This will be an interesting weekend. All right. Well, looks like we're done, and hopefully I missed everyone. Special shout out to the special support from Quietly for the win tonight, and Deb731. Thank you very much for the support tonight. I truly appreciate that. Hey guys, please do hit my Cash App, my Buy Me a Coffee, my Venmo, and any of those pathways. If you want to support me with donations, check out the About Me or the link tree, and you can support me really nicely at the Cash App, Venmo, or any of that stuff. So thank you and appreciate that as well. And like I said, if you're on the replay, truly appreciate the comments that you leave. It's very interesting to always read them. And if you go back into any of my former content, do yourself a favor and read the comments in my content back as far as you can, because the comment sections are a wealth of information, highly interesting and thought stimulating. So appreciate all of that, and I will see you guys later. Okay, we're out of here. hug your kids, hug your wife, and I'll see you next time.
Oh my God.